Are you moving to Albany, New York? Do not move here if you're not prepared for these 10 things. Welcome to the Living in Albany, New York YouTube channel. I'm Bob Eberly, and why should you listen to me? Well, I've lived here my entire life, so I've got a few things to say about it. Now let's get into it. Hey, but before we begin, it's important to know that when you're talking about what are the best things or what are the worst things, whatever they may be, that they're just opinions, and you know what opinions are like, right? Everybody's got one. If you're considering a move to Albany, New York, it's important to be aware of certain facts that may affect your experience here. While Albany has its own unique charms, here are 10 things you should know before making the decision to move to Albany, New York. Number 1, harsh winters. Albany experiences cold, snowy winters with temperatures dropping below freezing. If you dislike cold weather or have difficulty navigating snowy conditions, this may be a challenge. Now, when I was a kid growing up, we would get snowstorms like 2 and 3 feet at a time. I haven't seen one of those in years, probably 25, maybe even 30 years since we got something like that. Now, we do get snow every winter, and you're going to have to shovel it. You're going to have to learn how to drive in it, which can be tricky. But once you get that down, it's really not that challenging, and you get used to it. And hey, if you're an outdoor winter and sports enthusiast, you're going to love it. There's plenty of places to ski around here. Ice skating, hockey, you name it, we have it. All right, number 2 on our list is high taxes. Can't do anything about that. They are what they are. We are one of the highest tax states in the nation. We're not the worst, but we're certainly not the best. So New York has relatively high taxes, and Albany is no exception. Be prepared for potentially higher income taxes, property taxes, and sales taxes compared to other areas or states. Limited job opportunities. Now, I shot a video about how great the job opportunities were here, and I'm going to shoot another one about the top 25 places to go to work around here, the biggest employers. But if you don't go to work for the state, you don't work for one of the higher education universities, you're not in the medical field, and you're not in the tech field, well, you're going to have a little problem, because now you're down to probably mom and pop stuff, or maybe you're self-employed yourself. But, you know, the jobs are on the limited side. But if you're in one of those fields, there's plenty of opportunities. Traffic congestion. Now, Albany experiences heavy traffic during peak hours, especially on major highways and in downtown areas. Commuting can be time-consuming and frustrating. Road rage. No, I don't have road rage. But the 5 o'clock hour on Interstate 787, coming out of downtown Albany, heading up north, and then you'd pick up alternate Route 7 and then I-87 north, if you lived in a community like Clifton Park or Saratoga, but you work downtown Troy. Now, I've said this in a couple other videos. There are 2 bridges side by side, one going north, one going south, just above Latham, headed towards Clifton Park. Now, there's a Thaddeus something, some guy's name, but everybody around here just calls them the Twin Bridges. That seems to be like the border between traffic congestion, and then it starts to ease up. So, you know, going to work in the morning, if you live in Clifton Park or above, down to downtown Albany can be, you know, you got to leave a little early. And when you're leaving work, you know, if you don't leave work a little bit early, then you're going to hit all the traffic going north to Clifton Park. Clifton Park is a very large suburb, has the largest school district in the area. Hi, my name is Robert L. Eberly. New York State says that I have to introduce myself like that because that's how it appears on my real estate license. I'm a real estate broker here in Albany, New York. Formalities aside, you can call me Bob. Everybody else does. Only one that ever called me Robert was my mother, and that was usually not good. Okay, moving on with the list. Limited nightlife. Well, Friday and Saturday night are pretty busy around here. But, you know, the rest of the week, it's kind of limited. You know, if you're big into the nightlife, you might be a little disappointed. Limited cultural diversity. I don't know. It's half a dozen of one or the other on this topic. Albany can be a very diverse community, and it may not be diverse. Depends on how you look at it. I personally think we're quite diverse, but you never know. To each their own. We do have, a multicultural community here, and if that's not your thing, what can I tell you? Aging infrastructure. Well, aging infrastructure. I think every older city has that. Now, I showed a house one time just south of Albany, and I swear George Washington slept in that thing because there wasn't heat in the house. There was a fireplace in every room in the house. Even had the metal bar going over the fireplace in the living room where you'd put the pot of chili. There are some older homes here, but there's a lot of new construction communities in the area, so I don't think you're going to come here and end up with an old rickety house, because that's just not the case. There's a lot of redevelopment going on as well downtown. Limited public transportation. Now, this is kind of true. I mean, the biggest public transportation in the area is the bus system. It's called CDTA, that stands for the Capital District Transportation Authority. We have rail systems here. We've got a train in Rensselaer, and we have another bus station over in, which is kind of like long distance bus trips. That's in Albany. But CDTA, you can pretty much get around the entire Capital District on a bus here. Most people own a car and drive, and maybe if you're downtown during work days, that might be a little challenging to find parking. But for the most part, it's not really that hard to get around. And the parking meters downtown, they don't take quarters anymore. They take credit cards. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below, the bell notification right next to it. The bell notification will send you a notice every time that we upload a new video, which is going to be every week. So do those two things. And, if I provided any value here and you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Doesn't cost anything, won't hurt, and it helps the channel grow, and I certainly would greatly appreciate it. And what's the channel about? It's the up, down, left, right, what it's like to eat, sleep, play, work, and everything else here in the capital of the Empire State. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Links will be down below. Or you can leave a message down below, and I read all the messages. And, if it's a question, I'll answer it. If I get enough questions, hey, I'll shoot a Q&A video. That might be fun. All right, moving on. Higher cost of living. Now, it depends on where you're coming from as to whether or not this is higher or lower. If you compare it to New York City or Boston, it's going to be a lot lower. But where we rank is at a 108.3 index. That means it's 8.3% higher than the average community in the United States. So if you're coming from, a rural community or something like that, or a smaller town, this might look a little expensive to you here. The last item is limited outdoor activities in the city. Now, there are some fun things to do downtown, but if you're looking for hiking and biking and all that kind of stuff, camping, you're going to have to go outside of the city itself to find that. You won't have to go very far, but you're not going to find camping downtown Albany. It's important to note that these are not meant to discourage you from moving to Albany. Heck, like I said, I've lived here my whole life. Can't be that bad. But rather to provide a realistic view of certain aspects you should consider before making the decision. Now, everyone's preferences and priorities are going to be different, so evaluate these factors based on your own needs and aspirations. Now, if you're moving here because of work, you got to come here. I don't think you really have a choice. But anyways, reach out to me. Anyways, here we go. As I said, my name's Bob. I'm a New York State real estate broker in the Capital District, i.e. the Albany area. We are the #1 relocation team here in the Capital District. We get people calling us, emailing us, reaching out all the time. Every day we get it, and we love it. And so down below is going to be the links to get a hold of me, or you can just go to bobeberle.realtor. Eberle is spelled E-B-E-R-L-E. bobeberly.realtor. You're going to get all my links. You'll be able to schedule an appointment to get a Zoom meeting with me on my calendar. You can do all these things and more. Shoot us a text. Go ahead and give us a call. Skip all that. Go to the bobeberly.realtor. And no matter how you try to get a hold of us, when you're moving to the 518, we got your back. I'll talk to you soon.